Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves a Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under. Today is Friday and it is the third Friday of the month, and so that means that we're coming together to do a layout for the Ironcrafter Challenge on YouTube and Instagram. This is the layout that I've created with this challenge this month, and the challenge was to use pops of colour or Nuvo drops, and I of course have got to use both of them because they are my favourite additions for layouts. I have these two photos here of my daughter. She's a bit of a silly girl, but I'll tell you the story behind those later on. I have some little cut aparts that I'm going to use. I have a mix of papers that I'm adding on, but I'm going to use this as my main focus point on my background, this beautiful Pebbles spooky paper. It is stunning. I love the flowers in there, and those little spider webs are just a perfect addition. I'm going to use this authentic sheet here as well, and I'm going to use the checks on the back. I need my black for my framing as well, so let's get started. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to prepare my outer frame, which is always usually a 1-inch frame, and I'm just gutting out the center because that paper is really good, and anyone that knows me knows I love these checks and they will appear on multiple layouts, no doubt. I'm keeping the zip strip or the branding strip of this one because it has a strip of flowers which I'm going to use across the centering band on this layout very soon. I want to mount this paper so that it pops off those checks at the back and it stands out really brightly against the whole layout. It's absolutely stunning, this paper, and I've been hoarding it for a while, so I thought, why not? These photos are nice and bright, the colours match perfectly, let's use it. My photos are 5x5, so I'm cutting 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 mats to put them on, and I have 3 strips here which I'm going to put across the top here as a anchoring point on this layout. Now, I did have another piece that I was considering adding there that you saw at the beginning, but I chose not to include it because it was slightly a different orange, and I actually really didn't need to once I used the back of this flower paper where I had trimmed it down. And then you can see that I misplaced it, and so I have to carefully re-lift it and put it back down, and that of course makes it tricky. So once I've put that one down, I'm going to use this branding strip across here at the bottom, and it was perfect, and the black there. So if you watch how this comes together, they overlap a little of each of the papers so that I can build this landing strip for the elements on this page. And I'm doing it in the 3 as in the rule of thirds so that it is balanced, and this is where I can straighten up where it's not so neatly straight here. And that's my bar across the top of my page, and it allows us anchoring for these photos. So these photos, as I said, are of my daughter. Every year since she's been 10, she's wanted to carve a pumpkin. We have done it once, but I tend not to let her do it. I don't know why, really, other than what do I do with it for her. We're not big Halloween celebrators here in Australia. It is picking up momentum. So she was being cheeky in this photo and offered me an orange instead. So she is a very funny girl. I've told her that now that she's old enough, she can buy her own carving pumpkin and she can do her own if she likes. So hence the title, Hey Pumpkin. I have this cut apart here from another page that was a Halloween focused one, and they fit nicely there, except I do switch out that top left hand one for the spider web in the end. So I'm adding in some labels here just to build a step down from that photo, in which I'm going to then use for my journaling. I've added in some flowers and clusters, and as you can see, those pumpkins, aren't they cute, those dies? They're just beautiful. I was going to use these fishtail banners in there, but I'm trimming off the ends of the fishtails, and I'm just going to use those as backing to my clusters just to give them those anchor points and build that colour blocking in there as well. So just adding in the finishing touches to these embellishment clusters, as you can see. I have 3 points happening. I have the 2 pumpkins there, and I have the bottom journaling corner, and at the top I do actually balance out that bar by having a few flowers scattered across, and they are in a group of 3 as well. So by doing them in the 3s, I'm allowing that natural balance to happen that occurs in nature. And if you have a look down at the clusters at the bottom, they also are balanced out. Here I'm adding in my Nuvo drops. Nuvo drops are really good for centres of flowers. They give a nice little hard centre, a bit like a brad if you put enough on, or you can flatten them out and they become like an enamel dot. But that's what pops of colour are perfect for. And to finish off, I'm just going to add in some pops of colour here. And I'm going to put them into the centre of these flowers across the top, so they too have some dimension added to them, so that they're not just sitting flat against that layout. And pops of colour, as I said, are really, really good for giving a flick underneath, and then they flatten out and they look like an enamel dot when they dry. So if you've never used them before, great product to use. As I said, I use them all the time. I use them in my clusters to balance them out. I use them as a drawing point around. You can also use them through stencils, which is another great way of using this product. And I'm sure that when you check out the playlist down below, there's going to be a whole lot of people who are doing that, and you'll be able to see all the different ways that people are using these great products. All right, I'm sorry for all the pings in the background. People are very active today. I'm just finishing off the highlighting of my pumpkins by using my white gel pen here. This allows those dies to have some personality, and it adds that little bit of extra dimension once again to your layout. Without them, you can have your die cuts without these added additions, but I find that they just make them come alive and look a little bit more real than just flat addition on your page. Finally, I'm putting in the date because it's always important to remember when these things happen. And as I said, this is this year's photos of her with her pumpkin. She's a crazy girl. One day, I'm sure when she has her own children, she'll be carving pumpkins. So here you can see where I've used those Nuvo drops and pops of colour. I've added them into the centre of the flowers there. The pumpkins themselves, I've got some arrows pointing to her 2 very different versions of pumpkins for this year. One's an orange, of course, and she was a very funny girl. So here's my layout. Don't forget to check out the playlist down below for all the people playing along with this Ironcrafter challenge. It is a great challenge. Some very, very talented people in the list. Make sure you give us some thumbs up and some likes. I hope something here has captured your imagination. Remember, don't hoard your papers, use your papers. They're there, you bought them, you loved them when you bought them, so obviously you wanted to use them. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I'm coming to you from the land down under. Please give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you are interacting with my media. And thanks for those who have already subscribed. If you haven't, please consider doing so. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you. I always love the feedback. It's really important. And you can find me on my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap, including Instagram, where all my layouts end up, even those without a video. Thank you once again for watching. Happy scrapping till next time.